Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, students. How are you today? I hope you are all fine. Now, we are going on our material. It is on should. Look at the following picture. Students, we see some books in this picture. The boy looks tired and seems unwell. Perhaps he studied hard last night or getting an exam the next day. What should he do? He should take a rest or stop studying. And what about this picture? What should he do? Students, now pay attention to the underlined sentences. Those sentences were used by Wina to advise Tony that if Tony went through Diponegoro Street, he would get trapped in the traffic jam due to the landslide happening in Diponegoro Street. The underlined sentence is, you should not go through Diponegoro Street if you do not want to get trapped in a traffic jam. You'd better find another way. Now let's see this chart. You can use the following expression if you want to give advice to someone. For advising to do something, we can use these expressions. If I were you, I would. You'd better. I think you should. Might work. If I were in your place, I would. My personal advice would be. And for advising not to do something, here we have these expressions. I don't think you should. I wouldn't advise, or you would better not. My students, now pay attention to the sentences. Number 1. You make sure we dispose the garbage in the proper places. Secondly, do not throw your garbage in the wrong place. Those two sentences above were called warnings. A warning means giving information about something bad that may happen if someone does something. The reason for giving warnings is someone who gives warning wants the person become more careful. On the text, someone warns the person not to throw the garbage in the wrong place. So, the question is, what is should? We all know that should is a modal verb. Again, should is a modal verb. Because should is a modal verb, so there is only one form of it for every subject pronoun. For example, I should. You should. He should. She should. It should. We should. They should. The conclusion is should, followed by base form of infinitive or verb 1. We can see the example of the sentences using should. Number 1, I should eat more vegetables. Number 2, we should take an umbrella. Third, we should go to the doctor. The fourth, she should apply for the job. The fifth, it should be fine. The sixth, we should study more. And the last sample, they should wait until tomorrow. Now, students, when do we use should in English? Should was used in English, firstly, to give advice, to give a recommendation or a suggestion. This is to say that it is the right thing to do or the correct thing. For example, you should see the new Star Wars movie. It's great. He should go to the dentist if his tooth still hurts. Or, for example, the text is next week, so we should study for it now. And should is also used to express that a situation is likely in the present or in the future. This is a type of expectation or prediction. The sample of these conditions, such as the following sentences. Number 1, we should have the letter now. I sent it last week. Our team should win the game on Saturday. Because we have been training all month, so it is our expectation or prediction that we will win. And the last is, it should be sunny tomorrow. And the third, should was used when we want to express an obligation that is not as strong as must. But sometimes should is used instead of must to make rules, to make orders or instructions that sound more polite. For example, in sentences, applications should be sent before the 30th. We should drive more carefully. Everyone should wear a seat belt in a car. Or you should pay more attention in the class. And the fourth, sometimes we use should when something was expected in the past, but it didn't happen. So we have to make the sentence using should followed by have and followed by past participle or kata kerja ketiga. This expresses the idea that the subject did not fulfill their obligation in the past or did not act responsibly, such as in sentence 1, Anna is late. She should have arrived by now. Number 2, I should have called Fred this morning, but I forgot. And the third, you should have given your boss the report yesterday when he asked for it. And we sometimes have to use should when the condition is we not fulfilling an obligation. We can use should followed by be and verb ing. This expresses the idea that someone is not fulfilling their obligation or is not acting sensibly right now, such as the situation like in number 1. You should be wearing your seat belt because the person is now not wearing the seat belt right now. And sample number 2, we should be studying for the exam because actually we are not studying right now. Students, now let's come to shouldn't. We use shouldn't to advise not to do something, usually because it is bad or the wrong thing to do. Such as in sentence 1, you shouldn't eat that dessert if you are sick. This is my recommendation, not to do something, not to eat that dessert. And then, such as in number 2, you shouldn't buy that dress. The dress is too big for her. And sample number 3, you look tired, so you shouldn't work so much. And the last sample is, he shouldn't talk to his boss like that. My students, sometimes we have to make sentence should with verb think firstly. Think followed by should. But remember, we do not use I think shouldn't. We use I don't think should. Let's see the sample. I think you shouldn't go there. No, it is not correct. This is not correct because we don't have the negative shouldn't after I think. Clear? Okay. Instead, we make the verb think negative and say, please say, I don't think you should go there. It is correct. Also, for example, I don't think he should eat that. Or, I don't think we should start yet. Now, what about should in questions? My students, we use should in questions when we want advice, when we want a recommendation or a suggestion. Should I go now? Should I wear the green shirt? What should we do now? Now the last chart is, let's study should in our summary chart. Uses of should when we want to give advice or suggestion. When situation likely in the present. For example, Mary should be at home now. Give her a call. Or should can be used for a prediction. It is likely in the future, such as in sentence, they should win tonight. They are a better team. Or we make the sentence using should followed by have and past participle. That means the subject did not fulfill their obligation in the past or did not act responsibly. Such as in sentence, you should have given your boss the report yesterday when he asked for it. And the last is, should also can be followed by be and verb ing. It means that the subject is not fulfilling their obligation now or is not acting sensibly. Such as in sentences, we should be wearing your seatbelt. We should be studying for the test right now. Okay, students, we use shouldn't to add this or not to do something, usually because it is bad or wrong. You shouldn't throw your litter onto the street. You shouldn't play with those wires if he doesn't know what he is doing. And you shouldn't work so much. But usually we can say that sometimes should can be compared with the use of ought to. Students, should can be replaced by ought to without a change in meaning. We ought to study more. It also means that you should study more. Note that ought to sounds more formal than should and is used less frequently. Students, I think it is the last material for us to be studied now, and it's time for me to say goodbye to you. Please study hard for this material. See you next time, and there are some tasks to do, but it is in Google Classroom. See you in the Google Classroom. Thank you. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.